Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I greet you. I thank you for joining me. Today is 12th September 2024. What we want to do today is just a special tribute uh, to the victims in the synagogue collapsed building. You all know, most of you know, that we have been doing this for many years. Yes, we always separate today and reminiscence on what happened that very day. Thank you, Sister Evelyn. You are welcome. Zerubbabel, you are welcome. I ought to have done this around 4 p.m., but because there's no light, and also you know how fuel it is in Nigeria. I'll be expecting, even though I mentioned it to him impromptu, Zimba from Zimbabwe, but he lives in UK. Possibly he'll join us here. Thank you, Justin Ibe. I greet you. It's with so much heaviness in my heart. And I believe in the hearts of many people that blood flows in their veins. If we think of what happened in the history of the church, we have never seen such magnitude sacrifice. I mean, I don't know what to say. On 12th September, thank you, Jeff from Kenya. On 12th September 2014, crime was committed in the Synagogue Church of All Nations. Crime was committed. Until today, 10 years after, mass murder, thank you, Zerubbabel. In the history of the church, we have never witnessed this. And in years, more years to come, it continued to resonate in the hearts of people. Yes. Yes, there is forgiveness. Of course, we cannot just, stand in one place. But even though there is forgiveness, we must not forget. Because if anyone forgets history, it's possible they repeat the same thing. So I have some videos to show you, and also we will discuss. Yes, no accountability on the investigation. And I will tell you, I got another information. Yes, and I'm going to bring it on. You understand? Let me bring out my link out. If anybody wants to join, you are okay. Yes, if you want to join, of course you can join. Even I went to Ministry of Justice personally, and I volunteer myself, telling them that I have some information to give. Yes. I remember I called Barrister Monday Ubani. Yes, Barrister Monday Ubani. So, they promised, but at the end of the day, I sympathize with the people of South Africa. I sympathize with the people of Nigeria. I sympathize with every child of God that is affected in one way or the other. We pray. We don't pray for the dead, but we pray for the living. Those who their breadwinner, just died like chicken, like fowl. I pray that their family, they will find a way in their hearts, they will find way in their hearts to have that strength in order to carry on. I was just saying, just thinking in my Facebook. I was just thinking. I said, if the victims had known the journey they planned and embarked on, if they had known that that journey will be a journey of no return, I believe they would have adhered to Jesus Christ. They will have adhered to Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, yes, the justice system is a failure. Failure. And when SCOAN, they thought everybody is like them. They don't reason. When SCOAN brought out their video to show the timeline of when that building collapsed, they have two cameras, one in front and the other one at the back. Do you know that the camera in front says that the collapse happened at 12:44? And by the time we went to the camera behind, the collapse happened at 1:29. I just thought, who are these people deceiving? Who are they deceiving? So that was the video they packaged in order to show people. Look at it. This the camera behind. Look at it. 129.40. That's when the
Closer view of the building from the second camera.
Footage from another CCTV camera, positioned facing the end of the building, reveals the incident from another, closer angle. Take note of the building in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. From this angle, you can see clearly the precise moment of the incident.
okay, that's the timeline of the incident. Look at it. 1:30:09. If I hope you have seen it. I hope you are seeing what I'm seeing. Let me make it bigger. Yes, I hope you are seeing what I'm seeing. That is 1:30. Now let me take it back to the camera in front. This is the camera in front. Can you see? There is time. It has collapsed and it's 12:44. For those people who are into camera devices, do you think that can happen? For the same shots and the same timeline to be given different timing? Please, just tell me. Maybe I don't know. So that's the shocking they released. And you also saw what happened on, a lot of people that came on BBC, what they said. I don't want to bring out too much of their footage so that YouTube or Facebook will not, give us strike. Bosky, you're welcome. He said he remembered vividly what happened. The charlatan claim a plane brought it down. I will tell you, I got an information, but unfortunately, I don't want to bring out the voice of that person. But as we discuss, you will see how I put it out there. Okay, it's not possible for the same camera to be given different timeline. And maybe there are people who come on here to tell us that we are telling lies. We have been doing this for many years, and it's 10 years now. 10 years. No justice. Where there is no justice, You will cry for Nigeria. You will cry for my nation. Okay, let me bring out a video that I just brought out. Okay. Okay.
Welcome back. You're with SABC News Primetime. Televangelist TB Joshua must be prosecuted for the collapse of the Synagogue Church of All Nations' guest house. That's according to the family of Phumzile Mkhulisi, who was killed in Nigeria when the building collapsed 2 years ago. Today marking the anniversary when the guest house came crashing down, killing 115 people, including 85 South Africans.
It has been a painful 2 years, says the Mkhulisi family. To date, they are still counting their losses. In hope of finding closure, the family even visited the site of the building collapse. It is here where Phumzile Mkhulisi took her last breath, over 7,000 kilometers away from home. And 2 years on, no one has been held accountable.
You only find closure if justice is served. It's very, very difficult because now we don't understand why is it taking so long for people to appear in court. If TB Joshua has got answers, he must go and clear his name in court so that we can have closure and peace.
Last year, an inquest led by the Nigerian government found that the church did not have a permit to construct the 6-story guest house. It recommended that the church leadership be criminally charged, but that has still not happened. TB Joshua, who refused to appear before the coroner, rejected the finding.
Look at the shortsman devil. You see the shortsman devil.
Charged, but that has still not happened. TB Joshua, who refused to appear before the coroner, rejected the findings and maintains the building collapsed because of sabotage. The church has been unavailable for comment. Aldrin St-Pierre, SABC News.
You remember the moment that thing happened, before this collapse, lots of death has been happening there that they usually cover up. You understand? So when this one happened, they shut the door. They wanted to contain it. They did not know that it would be too huge for them to contain. They locked the gate. Possibly many people will have been rescued. I'm telling you, a lot of people will have been rescued. But because they were looking for certain number of souls, they were looking for certain numbers of souls. They locked the gate so that those people they die in pain. Zimba, I want to appreciate you for being here. It was an impromptu call and you answered. Thank you very much for the honor. You remember years
Thank
back
you.
when we did these tributes, we didn't have even more, the information we are having today. You understand, that was spoken on BBC, how dead bodies were being kept, somewhere. And, there are some people that will work in the day and another work will be carried out in the night by TB Joshua disciples. I have said before you came, I said crime was committed. But unfortunately, till now, there is no justice. It's 10 years after. And I'm even thinking that today may be the last time I will do these tributes, because I don't know what's going to happen. During the time they were going to court, I submit myself to the Ministry of Justice in Nigeria that I can testify how that place was built and all that. People are still suffering because of their breadwinners that died, because of their children, because of their family members. People are still traumatized. What can you say, Simba?
I see the TB Joshua development as an investigative journalist over the years has demonstrated to me the tragedy of the continent and, quite frankly, the world's greatest tragedy through the use of religion, Pentecostal religion, for the purpose of enslaving humanity. I feel, Bisola, that you should not stop these commemoration sessions. They need to continue. And if more activists like you can keep on talking, playing back this BBC documentary, reviewing it over the years, studying, and just continuing, because what you're going to find out in the end are solutions that are needed, not just for one country, but for multiple countries across the world. The TB Joshua entrapment, the TB Joshua phenomenon, is a recurring curse on humanity from my findings, which I started in 2011, 2012, when I was observing TB Joshua making these prophetic proclamations. And the very first one was on his acclaimed prophecy, what he was claiming, that he's prophesying the death of an African president. Now, that's what made him popular. That's what made him become, particularly among Africans. Because in Africa, people are taught curse religion. Some people call it Pentecostal religion, but it's actually Penta-curse. Penta-curse. Cursing. It is a religion that's built on this ideology that someone out there has got powers to curse another human being. And so Africans who are crying for political change in their nations began to idolize TB Joshua, thinking that he has actually prophesied the death of Bingu Mutharika. No one, and I mean no one, including myself, no one took time to study the relationship between TB Joshua and the people who would take over Malawi, the person who would take over Malawi soon after his death. No one studied the relationship between the two women who walked into Bingu Mutharika's office enclosure and had sex with him on that day. Two young women with TB Joshua. No one did. Why? Because everyone became overwhelmed by this prophetic proclamation by one human being who is claiming that he has got power to curse another human being. So no one ever did a simple fact check, which could have been done with a single phone call, to find out that relationship. We call it a causal relationship between TB Joshua and what he was proclaiming as prophecy. So the events that later on happened in 2014 were a build-up from that fake prophecy that TB Joshua made, that he actually saw and heard from the Creator that Bingu Mutharika was going to die in 60 days. We have Africans today who still believe that this man truly made a prediction. And that's why I insist, Bisola, that you keep talking about this, that other Africans, whether Christian or not, keep talking, keep revising, keep researching, because there's still so much to be done. I feel, from what I've noticed here, that TB Joshua was so criminal that I actually think that TB Joshua is hiding somewhere in some island somewhere, claiming that he has died, when that man who fooled Africans, that he has got power, simply died himself out. Because this time, contrary to what some people have thought, when TB Joshua died, BBC had approached him for a comment and said, look, we need your comments. We have this. One, two, it was a list of things. Within a matter of a few days, TB Joshua died. Now, this one day, if study he did and understand, one day he will be caught and he will be arrested, held to account for what he has done, not only to Africa, but to humanity. That's a comment, but I want to just talk about the facts here. The Bingu Mutharika thing, he was replaced. Bingu Mutharika, when he died, well, this one was a real death, obviously. When he died, he was replaced by TB Joshua's own loyal by the name Joyce Banda. Shame on that woman. I mean, I say shame because there's just too much evidence that Joyce Banda is a deluded and also someone who is deluding Malawans and other Africans. And so Joyce Banda took over, and there was the whole claim that, oh, this is a fulfillment of prophecy. And no one investigated that Joyce Banda had an interest in the death of Bingu Mutharika. So Africans built this belief that TB Joshua has got power to kill another human being. By the time we got to 2014, to this day, in September 2014, human beings had built this faith in this man, that everything that is happening around us, where I am, even the coat that I'm wearing right now, is because of the blessings of TB Joshua. And the faith that Africans have, the connection that Africans already have with their creator, was relegated to this man. So TB Joshua started monopolizing access to the creator. I was following, during that time, TB Joshua, many prophecies and the like, and with fascination, by the way, because at one time, people around me in the Christian Pentecostal community believed that TB Joshua was truly a man of God. So when this collapse happened, it on Reuters, and then I also looked at the email. Then I looked at my emails because we were getting these updates from SCOAN, from his media team, and they said, look, the people are coming out alive. The people are coming out alive. TB Joshua's church media team were announcing that people are coming out alive. There's not even one who is either been injured or hurt. And this is the time when this man that you're playing here is saying, look, TB Joshua told me to go with a torch inside a hole and to film people crying and saying, help me, help me. So I remember the moments, Bisola, because I was sat there in my computer. And as a publisher, we had been used also bloggers or for TB Joshua. To put those as TB Remember, there's a group of activists in the UK called, they were called,
Yeah. Michael Latsbridge.
but no. Michael Lethbridge started copying the Watch, the group. You get me?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
There was
Yes,
there was a genuine group. There was a genuine group
yes,
that was fact checking TB
that's
Joshua's
right.
claim.
I
And then
remember. I remember.
Michael Lethbridge then started
Copied.
claiming
Yeah.
that he is the Watch. So I remember we were
Yes.
used then there briefly though, but quickly
Mm.
when the actual building collapsed around during those moments. It would later on turn that TB Joshua has actually bribed journalists. In the night, there was a
That's
video,
right.
another journalist, a Nigerian journalist filmed him paying money, dishing
Nicholas.
money and telling them,
Nicholas Ipekwe.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
and then TB Joshua asked this young man and he says, look, and then asked them and says, look, so what are you going to publish after this? He wanted assurance that after paying the bribes to cover up the shedding of blood, yeah, he wanted assurance that the journalists were not going to expose him. Fortunately, there was
That is
one
true.
journalist. That man must one day he must
Welcome
receive an
back.
award for what he did.
Okay. Okay.
Mm. Because he managed to capture what is now helping us to understand that. But quickly, someone would ask me, you talk about TB Joshua when you've never been to Nigeria. I say because I actually used to have contact with TB Joshua's church. I used to, every time when he would make a prophecy, I actually Joshua. I understand sense. Can you? And you know what? His staff never put me through to him. But it's not just because of this. I also have another case of a young lady. TB Joshua tried to fly from my country, whose matter of rape, because she had been raped by TB Joshua's spiritual son, Walter Magaya. And so TB Joshua, when he was trying to fly her to Nigeria, he covers up the rape. I was involved in that because I was covering that story and I was also giving support to that young lady. Because phone calls to this young lady is on social media, legitimate. I was there. I also the legal, if someone when the money was paid to settle that case that TB Joshua was trying to cover up. I mean, I've enough evidence that this man was a con artist. This man used to cover up rape. So if someone comes out there and says, hey, where did you get the evidence? No, BBC, this and that. Okay, forget about BBC. Talk to me. Face me. I've investigated TB Joshua nearly every week since 2012. And there is nothing that you can tell me that TB Joshua did that was good for humanity. He was just a scammer. He was scamming humanity using the Bible. And the day that Africans discover the damage that TB Joshua did to the mental health of Africans, that is the day people will start to undo. It's what he has done. It's not small. So Bisola, let me end by saying this. I will need to go. What you've started, Bisola, you've got to keep going. This is not a small thing. This is not just for you. It's not for Nigeria. It's not for Africa. It's for the world. As that book that you read and that you use says in one passage, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Only through
Sure.
the truth being revised, being studied, can truly to die physically. Like we're seeing these men and women being crushed. I've got a few Zimbabweans, at least 2 or 3, who died in that building. And those cases I also handled around that time. It's one thing to die here, but it's another thing to die here. When these people use scriptures to kill mental muscles, to kill your mental capabilities that the Creator gave you, so that you can feed your families and you can be productive, the damage is worse when someone kills this that the Creator gave you to conquer your world and to feed your families. One day, I propose, and I've done this, by the way, about 4 years before TB Joshua died, I made this proposal to the European Parliament that a law needs to be put in place in these countries to arrest anyone who uses religion to scam citizens. In China, they will kill you. They will
That's
they'll
right.
kill you like this. If
That's
you
right.
scam a Chinese citizen, right? You are just as good as a drug addict. Sorry, a drug smuggler who brings drug country to drug their citizens so that their citizens are not productive. A law needs to be put in place that's equally brutal, at the least to prosecute, to jail, and to stop and to expropriate all the assets. Every single penny that TB Joshua collected needs to be seized by the state and distributed to victims and to the poor. One day it must happen. And I do pray and hope that one day it will happen. And when that happens, the might of Africa will emerge. Because Africa is not a small continent, by the way. I live in Europe. There's nothing in Europe. There are no resources. The only thing that's here is just the freedom only. And that is what helps people to think better. In Africa, you have all the resources. Let's change that. Go on, Bisola. I'm done.
Wait. I just want thank you. I want to appreciate you. And I want to say something that I will say later, but let me quickly say it in your presence. The person that made TB Joshua, that helped TB Joshua to made everything to go away. Let me just show you. Let me just show you the face. Though
Thank you.
the person died at the time the BBC documentary came out. This is the face. His
Mhm.
name is retired General Jones Arogbofa.
Right.
Okay? Yes. He was the one TB Joshua called upon. I
Right.
had discussion with somebody, their family member, because this man is like he came from the same background, the same village of TB Joshua. You understand? He has
Mhm.
been member of SCOAN, but something happened that made him to stay away. But the moment TB Joshua heard that this man has received appointments to be chief of staff of that president, Jonathan. You know, TB Joshua always wants to get in connected with people in
Well,
position
influential.
so that
Yes.
to use them to cover his, you understand, his antiques.
Mhm.
Not knowing that this September 12th situation will happen. So when the September situation happened, TB Joshua rushed to this man, and TB Joshua confessed to this man that the people that died are close to 1,000 people.
Oh,
But they
in the building.
declared, yes, yes, close to 1,000 people. But they declared to the government over 100.
116.
Yes, I have the voice notes, but I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to, you know. So I just want to say, since you are leaving, though I will still, play it for people out here without the audio, because I don't want to give away the person who had that discussion with me. I'm telling you. That
So the
is the
audio.
man. This is the man who was the chief of staff of Jonathan at that time. It was this man TB Joshua ran to, and it was this man who prevailed over the president, because at that time the governor of Lagos State was not taking it easy on TB Joshua. You remember,
Uh-huh.
the governor at that time is a lawyer, and he was not bribed. He was not interested in taking anything from TB Joshua. He was a very strict man, Fashola. So, but while he was putting his house together in order to prosecute TB Joshua, remember the coroner had already indicted him. You understand? On 3 counts. Criminal, yes. So
Uh-huh.
the governor of the state was pushing it. But unfortunately, the president of Nigeria landed in Lagos on TB Joshua uh, shrine. And that was the game changer. That was the game changer.
Uh-huh.
So the power that be up suppressed the power of the state. And that was how they just made it to go away. So unfortunately, when we are telling people, if you go to church, don't forget your brain at home. If you die, you just died. Even when during the time that the journalists were with TB Joshua,
Uh-huh.
TB Joshua was telling the journalists, "Don't forget about the dead people."
Uh,
Can you imagine? Yes, he said it is on tape. I have it here. Forget about the dead people. And he brought out money and shared it among the journalists. That was when Nicholas Ibekwe was really, pissed off. How can people, different nations, be crying? I know Nigerians that their children died, that TB Joshua paid them off. Those names are not in the name that they declared. So when TB Joshua confessed that they are close to 1,000, I believe the person who gave me that information. He said it's close to 1,000, but
uh-huh.
unfortunately they just have to declare, a little over 100. Yes, it's really sad. It's really sad. So this man, he died January this year. The time of BBC that came out. I wish he's alive. I would have looked for him. Even the person that gave me that information, she said she told the family of these people that they need to go in prayer, because what their father had done can attract family curse to their family. Yes.
Wow. Well, Bisola, thank you very much. I think some people here some people were asking, maybe you didn't make an introduction. Yeah, so my name is Simba Chikanza, and yeah, I am the originator of the Gold Mafia documentary. If people can watch the Gold Mafia documentary on the Al Jazeera news channel, and
Thank
what
you.
that channel, it will also show you another side of. There's another accomplice of TB Joshua who is called Hubert Angel, and another one called Kamlesh Patni, Pastor Paul. Okay, and these are gold smugglers who are smuggling billions out of Africa to Dubai, to the United Arab Emirates in the name of religion. And they are bribing politicians from Cape to Cairo. And these are people that people can also study. and they can understand the damage that these religious monsters, these religious con men have caused to our continent. And maybe from there, people can obtain paths and avenues that need to be pursued to stop them. Bisola, thank you very much. Send me those
Thank you
details.
very much.
I would like to study about the 1000. Is that in the BBC documentary, that 1000 issue?
No, not documentary. It's somebody else. It's not from BBC.
Right, but can you send me? Are you able to send me those audios and just maybe mention who in there? So, because I want to study it. If I need, I would like to develop what I can out of it, please. If it's pursuable, yeah.
Okay, we'll talk after later.
Thank you very much, Bisola. Much appreciated.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simba.
I'll be gone.
Okay, bye. So
How do I exit?
let me just continue.
Welcome back. You're with SA.
Okay, continue my video. Remember, we were playing some videos before Zimba came. So, and let me just put it where we got to. Okay.
Attended to. They are from all over the world.
Do you know that very day, that night, this boy said in another part that TB Joshua also, why people were crying out, he was having sex. He was having sex with one of the disciples. So when this boy, because it's one of the 5-story building, those that work with him directly, when he saw the girl in and, the mooning and, the boy said again, not even at this night. Not even at this night.
I want to thank you very much for your patience and for your time. In fact, when they finish attending, if I finish talking to you now, you will see I want you to just pass through almost 2,000 people I'm attending to. They are from all over the world. There are no single Nigeria. Attending to them. I'm attending to them. So he asked them to give you a copy of the cassette. So there's 750,000, which at least it will be 50,000 for fuel, to buy fuel to your car. Okay? 770,000. I think you have it, so you hand over to them. So the cassette, they need one cassette. Okay?
Man of God, we're expecting that you come up with an visual statement. Maybe like comments. Talk to us.
Your view about it. I've said it, I've talked clear.
See, in SCOAN, there's no official statement. You remember the day I interviewed Lewis Creighton when their sister died. Lewis Creighton, the footballer, they always bring a lot of money to TB Joshua, giving him a lot of things from Switzerland. When their sister died, and they were calling me in order to give them updates, I don't know what to say because I was asked not to say anything. There is no official statement. And that was what even infuriated those people the more. What happened? We were not there when their sister died. What happened? Just tell us. We want to know. Of course, the lady was HIV patient and she was okay. When she was in Switzerland, you were the one that said you can do healing. And they brought the lady. And unfortunately, the lady, because she was told to stop medication and she died. No, what will I say? No official statement. No official statement. No official statement. In my book, I was saying, watch it. I said, okay. I said in the synagogue, look at it here. In the synagogue, TB Joshua is the only source of information. He is the only source. You cannot do anything outside of him. He's the only source. And he is not exactly known to be honest. You understand? He was a liar. He was, TB Joshua truth. need to be guarded by battalion of liars. It is only what the synagogue projects before people to see that anyone can see, or measure of information given out at every point in time to people to hear is the only information people can have, nothing more. You cannot have the whole truth of what goes on behind the curtain inside the SCOAN. Even the closest, if the TB Joshua has 10 secrets, he shares it among 10 people without anyone have edge against him. Oh my goodness. It's so let's continue. So that's the thing. Information will be controlled. Information will be controlled. Very disturbing. Very disturbing.
Welcome back. You're with SABC News Primetime. Televangelist.
There's no information. People will come to get so much.
Which official statement you want me to give?
Okay.
No, I'm covering.
No, now we know investigation is ongoing, but at the moment we know some lives have been lost. Some people are in the hospital.
Why can't you talk about those who have been recovered?
So
They should talk about those who made it out. They should leave the people who are dead.
From your side. My heart is just you put fire on my mind. You will have started from life first.
Okay, some people have been rescued. Some people, unfortunately,
So if any of his children were there, would he not talk about his children or his child?
So those are my church.
Okay, by the grace of God, I want to.
This interview thing, you know, definitely the same phases.
I want to assure you that a lot of people got rescued them. It's not
It's a lie.
people have been rescued. Many of them are even at the prayer line. They may call you one of them, some of them. So they are just there for free. So I think that's it. So people that are in the hospital, they are recovering.
okay, can we say you are wishing them quick recovery and you are sympathizing with those?
Can't you hear what I say in the church? I talk of the hero and the Matthias and all that.
Yes, Matthias.
Now I have to talk like a man of God.
Yes.
I will not talk of death, talk of Jesus.
He said he has to talk like a man of God, but he was a criminal. He said, I have to talk like a man of God. But he wasn't.
Church, people will begin, I salute the Matthias, I salute the God General, and I salute the hero.
Gaslighting them.
Thank you, sir. God bless, sir.
So what are you going to write now?
Just like you said.
He didn't know that they are recording it privately. He was telling them, don't say that. Because he has already given them money. It's a power of exchange. That one said he will say this. He said, don't say that. Controlled information. That's what goes on there. They don't allow you to think by yourself. They will think for you.
Matthias.
Yes, Matthias.
Now I have to talk like a man of God.
Yes.
I will not talk of death, talk of Jesus inside the church. People will begin, I salute the Matthias, I salute the God General, and I salute the hero. So you understand that.
Thank you, sir. God bless, sir.
So what are you going to write now?
Just like you said.
Don't say that.
That one said, just as you have said. That's what we will write.
Journalist Nicholas Ibekwe alleges preacher TB Joshua paid reporters to report favorably on the September 12 Synagogue Church of All Nations building collapse.
The first thing he said was the tankers was coming and he had prepared 750,000 naira. We were 15 of us that would go around 50,000 naira each. And and that was it. And the next thing he said was that we should go out there and talk about the survivors and the survivors and not talk about the dead. We should go there and change the impression people have about the collapsed building.
And were even asked about their reporting plans.
And immediately you put forward financial inducement first, and you're asking that next. then you have just crossed the line. I mean, that basically is bribery.
Ibekwe did not report about the incident for a week, but says colleagues' conduct spurred him to act by releasing the secret audio recording on Twitter.
Nobody is asking a hard question how he has flouted statutory building rules, regulation, and the fact that first responders were attacked as they came on the first day, and they were barred from gaining access to the collapse site for 3 days. I know a journalist who was beaten up. Anywhere in the world when this happened, this will be the talking point of that.
The Nigerian media has long been criticized for its culture of accepting what is commonly known as brown envelopes or honorarium, just fancy words for bribe. The giver usually says it is for logistics and transportation, but most times what is implied and expected is a favorable report. Reporters use poor pay as justification.
When you challenge journalists, when you ask them why you're collecting this money, they kind of tell you, yeah, it's normal, and they give you these excuses. Oh, well, they don't pay us well, then why shouldn't we collect money? And it's so...
Yes, ABO, 50,000 for the lives of people. What shall it profit a man? You know, during their talk, there is a lady, I had a lady that usually reports crime. I had her voice. Maybe I will try to remember her name. She always reports crime. During the time of Fatoyinbo, that we went out on a protest, this lady interviewed me, but my interview, she never brought it out. When I talk about Fatai, she never brought the interview out. Mazi something Kalu. She never brought because I didn't give her money, and she's loyal to Fatai SCOAN. So definitely after the interview, she will take it to SCOAN in order to go and score a big point.
That journalists go out of their way to ask for money.
Ibekwe alleges that he's been threatened by supporters of TB Joshua. Others have applauded him for speaking out. Aduria Chumba, Lagos.
This is another man, another journalist, South African journalist, Jack Paul. When a man came from South Africa because of cancer of the liver, and TB Joshua did not know that this investigative journalist followed the man. And by the time they came, they set their camera, and TB Joshua said, God did not send him to the boy. But you are the one that told me I should invite them. But when he saw that journalists were on him, he said God didn't send him. So when these people were leaving, he gave them a lot of dollars. And the man said, since you did not heal that boy, I cannot take anything from you. So these people, they went to carte blanche, and they spill out everything. Bribing, criminal. So what do they want to build upon lies, upon blood, shedding of blood? What do they want to build upon that in SCOAN now? No wonder Evelyn is carrying 40 cows for sacrifices up and down. They continue to build upon that sacrifice. It's terrible. So I just gave you a tip of the iceberg of our discussion. This our discussion, I've already putting it out because I don't want to betray the lady. All right? I do not want to betray the lady. So our discussion is what I've typed out. Governor Fashola didn't support TB Joshua evil. Yeah, let me bring it back a little bit. Okay?
Ibekwe alleges that he's been threatened by...
Okay. I just want you to see that. I didn't know it's that fast. Okay. Oh, what's going on? How TB Joshua made everything to go away. Okay? Gov- Governor Fashola didn't support TB Joshua evil. He wanted to arrest him, if not for the President Jonathan intervention through Major Arogbofa, who was the president chief of staff at the time. I already told his daughter to go and start praying because of what their father did could attract curse on their family. Your father manipulated the world. So, okay, that's what the lady was telling me in our discussion. That lady is also TB Joshua's cousin. So definitely that information is true. I remember when their father was alive, the father of that lady visited TB Joshua and asked him, "You sure what you are doing? God called you." Yes. Say, "You sure what you are doing? God called you." I said, God called him. The wife of Arogbofa confided in me that TB Joshua usually give her certain water so that she could get pregnant. And every time she drink the water, her stomach hot like fire. She said she almost died of torture. Do you remember she's asking me that after some time she stopped SCOAN and was saying everything is fake. Each time she became pregnant, they, TB Joshua and Arogbofa, advised her to abort pregnancy. God knows what they were doing with the fetus. Those people who are looking for power, yes, they are looking for power. It's really terrible. It's really terrible. Okay. Then afterwards, she couldn't conceive and started praying on her own, and she stopped SCOAN. The moment Arogbofa took appointment with Jonathan government, TB Joshua found ways to penetrate him again. When the collapse happened and Lagos State governor tried to prosecute him, he gave a call to Arogbofa for help. That's the Arogbofa. That's Arogbofa. You know, these people, they are criminals. I hope you heard what she said. Okay, TB Joshua confessed to Arogbofa that the number of the people that died in the collapse of SCOAN building was over 1,000, but we declared a little over 100. He begged to help him talk to the president on his behalf because the sitting Lagos State governor, is not taking things lightly. You know, Governor Fashola is a lawyer. He planned to indict TB Joshua. Yes, Evelyn should repent. Evelyn should repent and turn to Christ. It's really terrible. It's terrible. So those are the see. This is aside physical things. There are also spiritual things. I will bring out a voice note now from somebody who was there. Who was there? You understand? And what they witnessed is really troubling. That's why we are telling you. We didn't say you shouldn't go to church. Anytime you go to church, please make sure you don't forget your brain at home. Make sure you don't forget your brain in the house. Okay? Okay, I think there is something there. Okay. So she was saying that, as chief of staff, He has direct access to the president anytime. General Jones Arogbofa was the one used by TB Joshua to penetrate the president so that he could escape justice of facing the law. Remember, the coroner sitting inquest had already indicted him on 3 counts. The first count was that he was not licensed to build that building. Go and do your research on Google. That's what the coroner sitting said. He didn't take permission to put that building there. Second, when in the planning of that building, they planned 4-story building. That was what they did during the foundation. They planned 4-story building. Then when people started trooping into SCOAN, they put another 2 on top. That's criminal offense. Offense 2. The third one was that I put it out there, all the pipes that they use were substandard. All the pipes were substandard. So many evidences has been unearthed on how TB Joshua did hide dead bodies. Okay, let me go to that part. The reinforcement with 12 times wide 25 bars of 20 times wide 20 bars instead of 10 times wide 20 bars as seen in the video released by SCOAN. So in that video, they saw that the bars and the irons they used were substandard. That's why they gave him 3 counts of criminal charges, and he refused to go to court because he thought he was larger than life. He thought he was larger than life. So he refused to go to court. He believed that he has the president and, the power that be behind him. So, but in my conclusion, whatever any man do against another man, this is my conclusion. All I know beyond reasonable doubt is any evil done by man to another man will definitely be redressed by God. If not now, then it will be later. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. There is another brother who shared something with me last year. Let me bring it out.
Maybe they said before the house collapsed, somebody dreamt that house will collapse. It still put people there.
This is the second person. The first person has finished. This is the second person.
The occult people went there.
All of a sudden, I start seeing people with shaki, people with white.
This is somebody who was there when it collapsed. If you know him by his voice, you understand. That is Nkechi. This was the tribute we did last year. Uncle Solomon was my guest. Okay, so that was Nkechi. He said the moment that building collapsed, some occult people started visiting SCOAN. They put on regalia. Even some of them, they put tiger teeth in their mouth. So he was wondering, you mean these people can come out in the afternoon like this? So there's no secrecy. They were visiting Fatai. And they would take them to where the people died. They are necromancers. They began to interact with the spirits and the souls of those people who had already died. the moment that collapse happened, look at the kind of people. These people are idol worshippers. You understand? They are in secret society. I don't know, except if they come for salvation in the church. So these are the people that were visiting Fatai and immediately after the collapse.
Some people will come with tiger teeth in their mouth. They will hold
some people will come with tiger teeth in their mouth. You know, they will put on their regalia and visit him. It has become an open thing.
Different kinds of people begin to come over. The same boss, that boss, you are saying now, that went to Cameroon.
Yes.
She's the one that received them, and will take them to the restaurant and feed them. Then they will go to him and they will give him a package, give her a package to give to them. Then they will go. Every day, almost 2-3 groups of people coming. All those people with white, some people with shaki on their, that thing they call shaki. They are not hiding it, though. They come in daytime. You know, because then I begin to imagine myself and say, these people coming to church, what has church got to do with it? So they will come, they will take them to the site where the building collapsed. They will look at it. Person will take them to a restaurant. They will eat after then.
You see that the family of the victims were not allowed to go to the site, but the occultic people were given right to go to the site. To do what? To do what? These are necromancers. To speak with the spirits of those people that are there. And I tell you, somebody said categorically, anybody that dies in the synagogue, their soul has been trapped somewhere.
They will give them envelope. The envelope contains money and they will go. Another group will come. That boss.
Do you know that boss's sister and their mother died?
The mother died.
And the sister, Gladys.
It's a long talk. It's a long talk. It's when you know, you know. And because you don't know, that is why we are coming here. And many people, they will be supporting pastors, they will supporting prophets, they will supporting. You don't know what they do behind the closed doors. You don't know what they do in their privacy. You don't know what they do. You don't know their calling. We need to be very careful. We need to be very careful. They came to eat and obtain the souls TB Joshua had made available for them. Yes. Remember in Revelation 18:13, there are some people that deals in selling souls. Soul traders. Don't let them sell your soul. I believe that there was a time they sold people like me soul, because I don't even know what I was thinking. Where my I don't even know how I was living. But thank God that Jesus paid the price and bought me over. The word of God says in the book of Colossians 1:13-14, he said he delivered us from the kingdom of darkness and he rescued us and put us in his own kingdom. Yes, Brother Bongani, Joshua was a principality. And somebody was saying that the death of TB Joshua is not the end of his energies. Somebody was saying, I will bring that one later, because she also has her own experience. Her mother that died over 20 years, she always see the mother in the dream inside synagogue, walking and washing clothes and grinding pepper. So she will ask, Mama, what are you doing here? He said, Temitope said they should be doing it. Not only her, lots of people. All those people that died there, their souls are trapped there. They are using their souls. So when you see, hey, is Ogbanje, those are the spirits they are interacting with. Or somebody said they see angel. Is that how angel look like? Is that how angel look like? Those are the evil spirits, disembodied spirits that are loitering around there. May the Lord have mercy. As we said, this is a special tribute, remembering what happened, so that the evil will not be committed again. We pray for those people who have lost someone, that the Lord will give them the strength to bear the loss. And from henceforth, please let us be careful. Don't let us be jumping around and be too gullible. Too gullible. No, no, no cheese today. There will be cheese tomorrow. If there's no work today, there will be work tomorrow. He said, call on me. See how God, I was listening to my Bible yesterday when God was discussing with Sarah. And Sarah said, oh, I didn't laugh. God said, you laugh. The way he said it, God is not fighting us. God has no problem with us. We are his children. God is not looking for worker. God is looking for children. If you need worker, the angels are there. So you may say you put your head on. He's just looking for children, people that will be in his presence, that will love him, that will that will follow his principles. So please don't allow anybody to deceive you. There was a time Timothy Joshua told us that God do not know we are living. So we too, he said he was the one that want to introduce us to God. So that's why many of us, we just remain there. That man that just spoke now, Ikechi, he spent 28 years. Right now, Ikechi is blind. He's in the village. He was in US. And because something happened, he came to Nigeria, somebody took him to SCOAN. And because Steve Joshua saw somebody from US, he now, he did something and Nikechi couldn't go home. He couldn't go back to US. So if visitors come, oh, I have somebody from US. So Ikechi too will be speaking phonetics. Phonetics for 28 years. Now, Sarah sent him away. Is no more useful to them. He has become an old man. No wife. No, it was his brother, junior brother, that contacted me. The man asked, I saw your videos online, and I want to ask you, I want to appreciate God for your life. But my brother, hey, what do they do to them in SCOAN? My brother life is upside down. So I said, okay, give me his number, let me talk to him. If you are talking this one, Echi is not getting any bearing. Thank you, everyone. Please remember all the people under captivity in your prayers. That's why we have freedom to the captives. Thank you, Sister Lola, for being here. We'll continue to do our bit. There's no light. You see, I'm looking if there is light because I quickly want to off my generator. Gas in Nigeria is very expensive, but I just reasoned that I must do this. That's why I just want to do it. So thank you very much, everyone. Let us continue to put ourselves in prayer. You don't need 1,000 church or 1,000 crowd. You can be ABO. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Thank you for paying for my for my gas. You can have people around you. Where 2 or 3 people gathered. I was going somewhere a few days back, and there's people are standing on the road. There's no transportation. Transportation is too expensive. So I now call people. I say, come in, free of charge. Come. Sometimes I say, come. so that I can use opportunity to preach gospel to them. So when we were talking, that lady was saying that, oh, she's from Winners. My papa, 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 papa. I say, are you not ashamed of yourself? Papa, papa, papa. Eh? All your money, your papa has taken it. When you go to the marketplace, you don't represent Christ, because they don't teach you the word of God, how to represent Christ. All your papa will be saying to you is, my birthday is coming. This is what I want. This is what I want. You are not taught. Thank you. God bless you. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you, ABO. The Lord bless you and keep you. May his face continue to shine upon us all. In Jesus' name.